Salute and welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, where you will enjoy an entertaining short story from acclaimed humor columnist Rob Kreider. Story time is the family portion of the show. Then we move on from the stories to the cocktails. This is where the alcohol and the not safe for work portion of the show takes over, as Rob and his wife /editor /muse Sara Kreider are taking some adult beverages and provide you with a behind-the-scenes recap of what really inspired the original story. Put your feet up, relax, and enjoy yourself a round of stories and cocktails. Cheers.
This article's called Wax On, Wax Off by Rob Kreider. Hey, that's me. Women spend a lot of time and money making themselves look good. Guys rarely appreciate how much pain and suffering goes into the effort of beautification. The fact of the matter is this: guys don't appreciate it because guys don't do it. When we want to look good, we get a $12 haircut and we put on a t-shirt that we didn't get at a concert or for free at a car dealership. Women are different. They work hard on their appearance, their clothes, and of course, their accessories. Sooner or later, a woman who's been in a marriage for more than a decade and has worked her tail off to look good, while her husband wears the same pair of paint-stained shorts for 6 years straight, well, she wakes up one morning and wants to see a little effort coming from the other side of the bed. That morning happened to be yesterday at my house. My wife, whom I love, wanted me to try to look good for once by doing some maintenance on my eyebrows, or eyebrow to be more accurate. Apparently, my monobrow had gotten to the point where my family and friends were beginning to plan an intervention. Seeing that I had just one choice, and that was to do exactly what my wife wanted, I decided to go with the flow. My wife had a pedicure appointment at a local salon, and she told me to tag along since the girls there could wax my eyebrows, or eyebrow. I parked the car around the back of the nail salon, looked around for anyone I knew, and then quickly walked in before somebody saw me. Inside the salon were a number of women getting manicures and pedicures. When I walked in, it was like a record skipped. A man had arrived. My wife did the talking, and she spoke some sort of female beauty code to the lady behind the counter, who looked at me and nodded her head. I couldn't tell if the lady nodded because she agreed to do a man's eyebrows, or if she nodded because she agreed that my eyebrows absolutely, definitely, and desperately needed to be worked on. Either way, I was ushered back into the room. The room was separated from the rest of the salon. There was a small bed to lie down on. The room was all white, and honestly, I felt quite comfortable. I lay down on the little bed and I smiled. The lady asked me if it was my first time. Apparently, I looked way too relaxed. After all, ignorance is bliss. I told her that I indeed was a rookie, and then closed my eyes so she could do her thing. At first, she used a little comb to arrange my eyebrows a certain way. It sort of tickled. Then she applied some warm, soothing wax that went from the top of the bridge of my nose to the center of my forehead. I felt her gently press down a soft, thin cloth on the wax, and then without warning, without signing a waiver, and without prejudice, she ripped my spinal cord right out of my body from in between my eyes. I didn't make a sound, but my eyes told the truth as they filled up with a pool of tears. I kept them shut tight so nobody would know. But it wasn't over. In fact, it was far, far from over. She applied wax to the underside of my eyebrows. When she ripped the hairs from the lower portion of my brows, it made the first pull feel like a warm-up. But even that was still just getting things started. The tweezing was next. What the nice lady didn't get with a quick jerk of a clump of hair, she agonizingly ripped out one hair at a time, slowly, methodically, and painfully. My jaw was clenched, my eyes were filled with tears, and my stomach even jumped a little, as if I was about to cry. She actually made me miss my dentist. I was lying there thinking, I should send this dude a Christmas card. As the eyebrow lady excruciatingly yanked out hair after hair on my face, I realized the whole thing was false advertising. The sign on the door said, waxing $9. I wasn't just getting a waxing. I was getting a waxing and a tweezing. Apparently tweezing is on the house, and it should be. You can't possibly charge anyone for something that painful. It seems to me that the police should tweeze the eyebrows of suspected criminals to gain confessions. Their success rate would be phenomenal. The nice lady, or in my new opinion of her, Beelzebub, finished and then basically told me to get out because other customers were waiting. I wanted to ask her if I could have a minute to compose myself, but there was no time for boys to cry. I slowly stood and tried to suck it up. I walked out of the room and saw that every woman in the salon was staring at me. I hoped it wasn't obvious that I was on the verge of tears. It was at that moment that I realized how hard these women work to look good. I might as well have paid that lady to kick me in the face while wearing ice skates. I felt shame for ever suggesting to my wife that she should go get a Brazilian bikini wax. When she saw me, my wife had the biggest smile on her face I had ever seen. Her husband had 2 eyebrows where there used to be just one, and he had to go through the pain of waxing and tweezing. They say that beauty is a curse. I cursed like a damn sailor when they tried to make me beautiful. By the way, after the swelling went away and the redness, I did look in the mirror and realized I looked fabulous.
Okay, folks, it's time to pop that top and let's get to those cocktails.
Hey, Stories and Cocktails Podcast, drunken portion of the show. We are coming to you live on tape from Pensacola, Florida. Yes, folks, we have made it here. We drove the RV Tiki all the way from sunny California, right at the beach, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, just barely clicking in the Cuntera of fucking Florida.
Oh my God.
We just barely got in. I don't want to get the wrong idea. We have not seen the Pacific Ocean yet. We're not in Miami, but we have made it to Florida.
Wait, we're not going to see the Pacific Ocean in Miami.
No, we're not. So listen, there's a reason that I graduated almost last in my class in high school. I was kicked out of Cal Poly and barely got a criminology degree from Fresno State because I'm fucking dumb.
No, you're
and
not.
bad at geography.
We haven't seen the Atlantic Ocean yet. No, listen.
Listen, Lisa.
We do things differently. We think differently.
Because you're a woman and I'm a man?
I think you're very, very intelligent. I just think that we approach things differently. We think differently.
Oh, you're going to use the word differently.
Yeah.
Because I said that I was dumb.
No.
So it comes with the D. Either way, you're just throwing the D at me. The big D is coming at me. You're either different or you're dumb.
Yes, we're different. We think differently.
Oh, I'm dumb. I'm different. Just D. Coming right at my face.
No, that's what I want you to do to me.
Oh. You want the big dumb D coming at you?
No, not the dumb one.
You want sort of like an uneducated, poorly informed D coming at you?
No, Just
like an ignorant D?
It's like earlier I was like, you're not dumb, you're not stupid. And I'm like trying to build you up. But I'm like, okay, can I just flirt with you without you being so dumb about it? Like,
It's so hard for me. This is so complicated.
I'm just flirting with you. And you're just like, what kind of D do you want? I'm like, yours.
I mean,
yours.
I can't say like, you want the big D? Because I'm like, you want the medium D?
This is why we don't do dirty talk.
Yeah, that's not our thing.
That's why we don't. Yeah,
Look,
you're
I'm
right.
sure there's a lot of married couples there who send nasty photographs on their phones.
We don't do that.
Do dirty talk. That's never been our jam.
No, we can't. I just tried it and it fucking failed.
The reality is this. You and I are pretty faded right now. Let me explain to y'all. You drive your RV to Florida and you park it.
It's just a quick drive from California.
You walk to the beach. There is a hut. Tom Cruise is not there, but it seems like he would be there with Elizabeth Shue from the movie Cocktail.
How old are you?
I'm pretty fucking old.
Okay.
I'm 50 years old.
All right.
I have a little bit of gray hair on the temples. My dick is 75% hard. That's how old I am.
Okay.
Be clear. Now, listen, our younger listeners might not understand that. Like, what do you mean by 75% hard? It's hard enough to get inside my wife.
Oh my God.
It's not hard enough to make her come.
No, our younger listeners are like, who's Tom Cruise? What's the movie Cocktail?
Fair enough. You're right. Tom Cruise is not here. She's not here. It'd be cool if she was. But you park your RV in Pensacola, Florida. You walk 15 feet from your RV in the sand to a Tiki Hut bar, and they give you very RV-themed drinks. So I'm drinking an RV Rita.
Yes, you are.
You're drinking a Cabana Boy. We've been chasing the tiki bars across this country.
This is the one we wanted.
This is the one, the Sneaky Tiki.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so great.
We left Austin, Texas, which I've been told is called Soston, Texas, which is true. We got pretty sauce there, and we moved along to Galveston.
We rode our bikes, and we found this super, super, super cute little downtown, like historic Galveston downtown district. And we said, let's lock up our bikes and let's walk around.
Yeah.
So we're walking around. We're in like the tchotchke store because I fucking love tchotchkes.
Yes, you do, girl.
And we're looking at tiki heads, and I'm looking at shell anklets and
Should we
puka
put
necklaces.
this in the RV Tiki? Should I put this on my wrist, on my ankle? What are we going to do here?
You know, should I get like a shot glass that says Galveston? Should we get a
Fuck
frame
yeah.
that has shells and says Galveston? Like it's all the same shit. But then all of a sudden, a worker comes up to us and she's like, "You want to try our frozen drinks?" And I was like, I was here to buy a puka shell necklace. Like, what are you talking about, frozen drinks? And then I look, and the Tchotchke store, it's like fucking Fat Tuesdays back
A
there.
tiki bar.
They just have like all of the frozen drinks and free trials. Like free, well, you want to try this? Do you want to try this? You want to
You
try
actually thought you were asleep. Like, am I dreaming right now?
I was.
Is this my best ever fucking like fantasy?
So then I was like, well, where am I supposed to drink this? Like, there's not a bar, there's
no
not
chairs,
chairs.
there's no place
And
to
they're
stand.
just like, no, take it to go.
It's fucking get out in the streets.
Just walk the streets and
Go out
drink
in the
the
streets of
drink.
Galveston and just drink this fucking wonderful rum mixed with sugar and ice
So
cream.
I already liked it. So then I even said, I go, oh, this is like a little tiny, like baby Bourbon Street. And then she looked at me and she's like, I'm 19 years old. I've never been to Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you want to try the pina colada or not? And I was
Yes,
like,
I do.
yes, I would. And I'm going to take it outside and drink it out there. And I'm not going to buy any tchotchkes. I'm just going to drink the alcohol. So anyways, we loved Galveston. Then we did some quick harvest toasting. Boom, 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 boom. Because we had to get from Galveston to Pensacola.
We're trying to get to the fucking Pacific Ocean of Florida.
With harvest toasts, you set your route. It's pretty cool. You say, hey, I'm going from Galveston to Pensacola. I want to take a couple days to do it. And then they show you where you can just park your RV and sleep overnight, like in a parking lot between Galveston and Pensacola.
Oh, free.
Then you can set the radius. Apparently, I fucked up and I set the radius at about 20 miles off of 10. So we ended up about 20 miles deep into Louisiana.
It felt a bit ominous as we headed in.
As we headed in. That's what
Yeah,
I was going to say.
I was like, it seems
Once
not good here.
Once we got there.
I've seen a lot of Friday the 13th movies. Is the fucking, one.
Right.
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 This seems scary.
The 20 miles off the freeway, you were very much like, where the fuck are we going? What did you do?
What did you do to us?
I heard that we could just sleep in an RV in the Cracker Barrel parking lot. Why am
Barrel
I
docking.
on this one-lane country bumpkin road to the middle of fucking nowhere to
Yes.
get murdered? Why am I doing that?
Murdered.
It was creepy. Then we got there, Biotech Brewing.
Shangri-La appeared.
It was. I mean, I thought we were going to a brewery, and it was a brewery, but it was also a tiki bar.
But they also served ice cream with alcohol in it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Delicious.
It was a utopia.
So it seemed like maybe like I don't want to say this could be kind of like conspiracy theory, but it seemed like the beginning of a horror film.
Yes. Everything was lining up so perfectly, including the weather.
To be killed.
To be killed. And that's what I said. I feel very much like we're the main characters in a horror movie where they're just living their best lives, right? Like the very beginning of the horror movie where you see the two characters and you're like, oh, I think this movie's going to be about them. And oh, they're on a road trip. Isn't that cute? Oh, they're living in an RV. How cute. And then all of a sudden,
Wait.
they get fucking murdered.
You thought this was a whole like horror film vibe?
You know, we've been talking about that. We thought we were going to get murdered.
I thought it was like more like a Hallmark film vibe. I'm like,
Oh, you thought it was like a rom-com.
No, I thought it was like a Hallmark rom-com. I'm like, okay, so here's what's gonna happen.
Where's the rom-com though? We're already together and we're
No.
already
Well, in my version of this
romantically
rom-com,
and comedically
well,
together.
shamefully, in my version it's not. We roll into the biotech. And then suddenly, an old high school flame of yours, Marcus, who like did battle in Afghanistan, who's super in good shape, is like, oh my gosh, Sara, I haven't seen you in years. Would you like
Wait.
some pizza?
Have you been reading my DMs again?
Then I'm like crossing the street to like, hey, Sara, do you want to get some ice cream? They have liquor in it. I get hit by a big rig, bringing like Gulf oil, fucking fuel, and he wipes me out. And his Marcus is like, oh my God, I'm
my
so
God.
sorry that your fucking husband died. And he holds
Okay,
you in his
pause.
big arms.
Rom-coms, they don't start with tragedy. If it was a rom-com, you'd already be dead.
I thought this was a Disney film where somebody's parents died.
Wait, is it a rom-com? Is it a Disney film? Or is it
I
a
don't know.
horror
It just
film?
seems like in any situation, I die.
So-
It's like whether it's a horror film, I die first. Rom-com, I'm already dead. Disney film, I die. Like it just seems like I die and you win. You and Marcus just live your best life, and I'm fucking dead.
Let me tell you how the rom-com would go. Not that I've ever thought about this.
Over and over and
In
over again.
great detail.
In extreme detail, orgasmic detail.
And the rom-com, the movie starts with me driving the RV. You're already dead.
You didn't even drive the RV.
I know. That's the thing. Is it
So it's already bullshit fiction.
yeah, these aren't real. And so the movie like kind of cuts to me driving the RV and maybe I have AirPods in and I'm talking on the phone like expository dialogue.
Yeah.
This was our dream. Me and Rob, we were always going to do this road trip. Here I am, the strong widow widow, getting to know herself, getting to just find myself as a single woman, and I'm living out our fantasy, and
Boom.
I'm on the road.
Here comes Marcus.
Yes.
Afghani veteran.
Yes, that's
So
how.
my version is I'm being cuckold right in front of fucking Marcus while he just plows you.
No, yours is some kind of weird.
No, I think
dark-
that's more, might be
Internet
that
porn
might
or
be more Pornhub.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's. I don't know what
Maybe
you're
I've watched
watching.
I think what's happening is you're watching Hallmark, I'm watching Pornhub. We're trying to connect on this shit.
So
Either way, I'm still fucking out.
So you're actually watching Pornhub where you're being cuckolded and someone else is fucking.
Marcus is fucking you.
That's weird.
He's plowing you, and you love it.
No, I don't, because this isn't my fantasy. This is you're watching it.
And you're looking me in the eyes. You're like, so good. Marcus's dick is so good.
This is what you want.
No, I don't want this. I don't want to be cuckold.
This is your
I'm
fantasy.
fucking dead. This is not,
You're watching the Pornhub.
no, this is not my fantasy.
You just got finished saying this is the Pornhub that you're watching. You need to go to a different hub channel. Okay, so where were we?
We're trying to get from fucking California to Florida, yo.
We didn't get murdered, and you didn't.
And Marcus didn't show up.
You didn't get cuckolded. I didn't get to play out my Reese Witherspoon rom-com fantasies. Like, there was no high school boyfriend. We just had a really, really, really great time. We had great tiki drinks, great pizza, great beers, great rum ice cream.
Biotech for the win.
I know, I feel like I'm making this up when I'm just like listing all.
It sounds made up.
So then our next night
was
another Harvest Toast.
Yep, for
another
free.
place we stay for free.
Abita
And
Brewing.
So we roll into the Abita Brewery. It's our super good fortune that there's a bike trail right behind Abita Brewing.
Connected to it.
And it's crazy because, I mean, we just left one Rob and Sara Utopia, and now we're at another one. Like, here's a bike trail. Would you like to get on it and
Pull your bikes off the back of your RV and just ride down this dedicated bike trail with horses and people and bicycles.
Yeah, we saw horses on the bike trail. They were beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So we ride our bikes about a mile and a half, and there was this place called the Abita Mystery House. And we were like, what?
What the fuck is this?
What is this? So it's, imagine your weirdest uncle's model train collection.
On methamphetamine.
Right. Like, he just did meth in your grandma's basement, and he was
For
always
3 decades.
making the model train and never quite got it going. And then, like, every single time you went to go visit grandma, you went and you saw him in the basement, not in a pervy way, but he's just like, hey, I got this new
He
pinball
didn't
machine.
diddle you. He was on the spectrum, but he also made shit work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff in there worked.
All of the stuff in there worked, but like so weird, like doll heads on alligator bodies and alligator heads on rocking horses and signs, and then just
Tornadoes.
computer keyboards just nailed to walls
And circuit boards.
So
It was crazy fucking town.
so fucking
Well,
weird.
before you can get in there, you got to
It's a
roll in.
mystery.
You're like, hey, I parked my bike outside. Here's the Abita Mystery House.
Here's I would like to buy a ticket.
I would like to buy a ticket.
Admission is $5.
So this gentleman,
Jordan.
he's a gorgeous man, big smile.
So we walk in and we're, hey, we want to check out your mystery house. And then he said, where are you from? And we said,
Fresno, California.
and then he's like,
Hey, the Windy City.
yeah, but he said it like Norm Macdonald, like kind of nasally, like the Windy City. We're pleasers, so we
no.
don't want to argue with people. So we just agreed. We're just like, yeah,
Sure, yeah.
it's windy there.
He's like, no.
Sometimes.
The Big Apple.
Then we got the joke. He had to double tap us for us to even get his humor. And then we fucking laughed our asses off. And we're like, oh my gosh, you are very funny.
He was super funny.
Dry.
Jordan is the fucking man.
Dry humor. Then we went into the Abita Mystery House and we saw all of the mysteries.
So listen, folks, this is $5 a lot of things. A Big Mac, for God's sakes. I think it's $5 at this point. But if you go into the Abita Mystery House and you meet Jordan, you will be immensely entertained. It is so crazy and great. Fucking do it.
He's not getting his money's worth. I mean, I would have paid $18, honestly.
Ooh, $18.
Yeah, he only charged me $5.
Thank you, Jordan.
Go through there.
So we left Abita and we rolled on down through Alabama and we got to Pensacola, Florida.
But first, we had to take a small little detour into a town called Saraland.
So you were super excited about this detour?
I
but
was.
I wasn't. I've been living in fucking Saraland for 20
Yeah, no, you weren't excited. It wasn't called Robland.
No, I've been living
It was
in
called
Saraland
Saraland.
for 27 fucking years. I didn't want to go visit it again.
I loved it.
Oh my God.
Although it wasn't doing so well. A lot of the buildings were empty. A lot of the businesses had moved out. Traffic was bad. You actually said, you're so mean. You actually said traffic in Saraland is as frustrating as Sara is.
Saraland was immensely frustrating. I've been married to you for 27 years. I love you, but you're kind of frustrating. And Saraland was the same. It was frustrating. It was hard to deal with.
It was hard to deal with because traffic was a little rough and we couldn't quite tell like where to turn in and where to turn out.
We couldn't find the clitoris.
The reason we went to Saraland is because, and I was so gleeful. I was so excited when I found this.
You were.
First I found the town, Saraland, and I was like, holy shit, what is there to do in Saraland? This is amazing. And then inside
nothing.
Saraland, there is a fast food restaurant called Wacked Out Wiener. Oh my God. In Saraland, there's a restaurant called Wacked Out Wiener. Of course there is. Because I would put that in my town. So we go to the wiener store and you can get like all these different flavored wieners. And then you can get a t-shirt. And the t-shirt says, I got my wiener whacked at the Wacked Out Wiener in Saraland. So I was able to say to you, you got your wiener whacked in Saraland. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted out of this life.
You are the homecoming queen
Of Saraland.
So we survived Saraland, just wieners down our throats. It was so good.
You know, this is what I knew about Saraland. Is just
Wiener down the throat.
Wieners everywhere. All in Saraland, Alabama.
We went east to Pensacola. Finally fucking got to Florida at the Sneaky Tiki. And we found out that we've been there before.
Arriving here was a huge goal. We crafted this whole harebrained trip here, like
this
6 months ago.
Crackhead ass trip.
6 months ago, we were sitting out at the Sneaky Tiki. We were staying at the hotel across the street. We walked over here
on the beach,
and we were like, "Holy shit!
By the beach.
This is maybe the greatest RV park that there ever was. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could bring our RV here?" We came up with this dream: bring our RV to Pensacola, Florida. We get here, and we're high-fiving, and it's so great, and this was the goal. But I'm very triggered now that I'm here. I forgot that I suffered.
You had a bad experience.
I did. I had a small bad experience here with you, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, I forgot. Like,
fuck.
You breached my trust. Like, I don't know if I could trust you. It's triggering now that we're here.
So we were here a few months ago, and we did a podcast here, and some shit went down, or maybe it didn't go down. And so we will just segue to that episode. Cheers to the next episode.
Cheers.
Hey, welcome to Stories and Cocktails, the drunken portion of the show coming to you live on tape from Pensacola, Florida. Girl, you look happy. You're spinning your drink around. You're just like, this bartender is the best. That's Brian down by the pool.
Brian knows how to make a cocktail. He really does.
Brian's been taking care of us for a few days here in Pensacola.
Yeah.
And you're probably hearing it in our voices right now. Life is good.
Brian makes a really, really, really good Ramosa.
Yes, he does. So what is in a Ramosa?
Orange juice, Captain, and some Malibu.
Very good. I will tell you what I'm drinking, but it comes with a story. You know, I like a lot of backstory.
Wait, we don't know that about you.
Oh, shit. Am I revealing something?
Oh, can you give us a backstory about how you like backstories?
I do. So, you might be an alcoholic if.
Okay.
That's what this story goes.
Okay.
So there I am, feeling good, looking good. I'm in Pensacola. I'm like, hey,
wait,
I got a Starbucks here.
I don't want to interrupt your flow, but I feel like the answer to that riddle is you might be an alcoholic if your last name is Kreider.
Oh, shit. You cut right to the chase.
Is that the answer?
Yeah, it might be.
Okay.
So you might be an alcoholic if you're walking through the lobby in Pensacola Beach and you say they have a Starbucks, and then you see within 15 walking feet they have a bar.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go to the Starbucks first and you say, hey, hun.
Oh, wait, did you say hey, hun?
No, I actually did. That's not my style.
That would have been really out of characteristic.
It was.
For you.
Yeah,
okay.
She wasn't hun-worthy.
Oh, that's...
I'm a fucked up person, dude.
You are. Okay.
Well, you set me up. You teed that right up. You're like, hey, did you really call her hun? I'm like, no, she was ugly.
Okay.
I didn't want to have an affair with her.
You know what?
I just called her, listen, bitch, I'm going to need a little room on the Americano because I'm going to put alcohol in this motherfucker at the bar.
You just set yourself up. You don't even know. But you think like, oh, she's on her third Ramosa from Brian. Brian got her good and prime. Like, she's not going to fucking remember anything. It's going to be 7 years from now. We're going to be in some Starbucks, dead sober, in some hotel lobby. And you're going to say, because at that point, you'll be 57 years old. And these are the things you say at 57. You're going to go, thanks, hon. But here comes me with the fucking elephant memory. And I'm
elephant brain.
oh, Oh, you think she's fucking hun-worthy, do you?
Oh, you want to fuck this bitch? She's 20 years old, you pervert.
Yeah.
She's a barista.
I wouldn't call her a bitch because she's fucking 20 years old, innocent as fuck, just trying to do her minimum wage job and get you a goddamn coffee.
She's trying to throw a little. She's just a freaking coffee slut.
And you're like, oh, I can't even lecture you.
Without me offending all of your gender.
Yeah.
Before I can even get going here.
Hey, can you not say bitch? And you're like, that's cool. Can I say slut then? No.
I said she's a coffee slut.
Well,
that's the term for female baristas at Starbucks.
Right.
Common knowledge.
You don't see the problem with. No, okay, look at. Here's what a
Of course it's problematic. Why are you just carrying around an empty cup and just knocking into shit? You might be an alcoholic if.
Here's what a coffee slut would be, you fucking asshole. Let me explain to you.
Okay, mansplain it to me.
Okay.
The man.
If I were a coffee slut, I would go downstairs and I would be like this. I would be like, I'll do anything for a fucking coffee. And they're like, will you pay $4? And I'd be like, I'll do anything but that. I don't have $4, sir or ma'am or miss. Right. Let me just come behind the counter real quick and, get your little barista,
You can't even do it. Would you like me to use some kind of rough language?
Yeah.
I don't have any money, but I would love to go behind the barista bar here and put my finger in your ass and gurgle your dick as I play with your nuts. Okay. Would that be worth a free $4 coffee?
Well, okay. I'm going to stop you because I was trying to do like a non-gendered thing. Like the barista, if I was a coffee slut, it wouldn't matter what gender the barista was. You know what I mean?
So you're going to lick her clam. Finger in the ass.
Well, no, again, that's very gender specific. I'm just going to put a finger in an ass. You know what I mean? Because like everybody has an ass. It doesn't matter what gender you are. So if I were a coffee slut, I would go downstairs and I would say, I don't have $4 for a grande. But what I do have is a finger I will kindly put in your ass for a coffee.
That's not going to guarantee a coffee because I was in the hospital recently and I had a finger in my ass from a nurse. Unpleasant experience.
You didn't give that nurse a coffee?
No. I said, I lied to the doctor and said, get me out of here as fast as you can.
No.
I'm actually healthy. I don't need to be here anymore.
Actually, that nurse did get a coffee because I saw how well they were taking care of you. You don't know
did
this?
they?
Yeah, no.
I don't feel like they did take care of me there.
I came in with Starbucks gift cards, and at the end of your hospital stay, I was like, thank you for taking care of my husband. Thank you for taking care of my husband.
Finger in the ass.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, that would be what a coffee slut is. But the person who's working, who's just getting paid minimum wage to give you coffee, she is not a coffee slut. Like that's not how this works. You know how like prostitution works, right?
I don't. I never paid for it myself.
Okay, go on with your story. You might be an alcoholic if.
You might be alcoholic if. You go to Starbucks.
So there you were. Give me some coffee, hun.
Listen, coffee
slut. To the
slut.
not hun-worthy
So you say to her, listen, good morning. Because it's not noon yet. This is also part of the you might be an alcoholic if. Good morning, hun. Leave me a little room. And she's like, for cream? I said, no. I need you to put the cream in there for me. I'm going to get some alcohol at the bar. I'm going to fill that in there. And what's so great about it, she's like, this is Pensacola, baby. This is Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville. You know what I mean? Like the man is dead, but we still his spirit lives on. I heard Margaritaville not only 75 fucking times yesterday.
R.I.P.
at the Sneaky Tiki bar, the greatest bar in the world. So now
wait a minute. I know I keep doing this to you. I keep interrupting you.
But I'm loquacious. It takes me a long time to say shit.
Well, yeah.
So you might have to interrupt me numerous times.
I was interrupting you earlier because you said offensive shit. A couple of different times. But this time you didn't say any offensive shit. But
I did say Sneaky Tiki, greatest bar in the world. And you're saying that maybe I'm not.
No, that's not offensive. That was right on.
Okay,
Here's why I interrupted you. Is that I know that you're a man who orders a decaf. And yet you are over there spinning a yarn, talking like a guy who forgot to say decaf.
I swear on our marriage and our children and the Holy Ghost, this was ordered as a decaf. Whether that dumbass coffee slut got me a decaf.
You're going to get another lecture.
Because she was more concerned with leaving me room for the liquor.
Okay. So wait.
She might have missed that part.
It sounds like she did a good job in leaving you room for the liquor. Maybe we stop calling her disparaging names for females?
No, I don't. You say it's disparaging. That is what they're called. If you are a female barista at Starbucks, you are a coffee slut. Common knowledge.
You're not just called a barista?
No, that's for men. Men are baristas. Women are coffee sluts.
Oh my God. Okay, do you realize our niece has been a barista at
she's a coffee
Starbucks.
Slut. She's a woman.
Okay, I thought that I could get you there.
Coffee slut.
There's no saving you. There's no stopping you. There's definitely caffeine in this.
Regardless.
Okay.
So now, I'm a pragmatic person. So I'm like, listen, coffee slut, leave room in that. Decaf Americano, let's go. Now, I know it's going to take her a bit, because you got to do the espresso, you got to ice it, blah, blah, blah. So I run over to the bar. I go, yo, good morning. Is this alcoholic time?
Brian.
No, Brian doesn't have Bailey's at the pool. I had to go inside. So Brian's
You had
making
to do 3 stops.
Yes. Brian's
You
making
had to
your
do
drink.
pool bar from my drink.
Yes.
From Brian.
Yes.
Then you had to do inside a bar, whose name we don't know because we haven't gone to the inside bar.
Her name is Lila.
Okay, why would you go to the inside bar when there's Brian out at the pool bar?
Brian doesn't have Bailey's. I already talked to Brian.
Then you had to go to Starbucks.
Yes.
In the lobby. Go on.
This is, you might be an alcoholic if you go to 3 different places to get your drink.
Oh,
Okay?
is that the punchline?
Yes.
Oh.
So Lila, I'm like, do you have Bailey's or Caroline's? I'm indifferent to it. And she goes, we have Bailey's.
Or Emmett's.
And I could have said Emmett's. But I'm like, this is a Bailey's place. And she's like, hey, it's in the cooler. I'm like, great. We're all kicking on the same cylinder here, man. Because I got an ice vente Americano
Does that mean like just go over to the cooler and help yourself?
Well, Brian is such a baller. He's like, look, I don't have Bailey's here, but I'll get you some.
Yeah.
And I go, well, look, I already got to go inside anyways to get some coffee. I'll just get it from the inside bar. He's like, okay, whatever you want to do.
Right.
So I'm like, sounds good.
That sounds like Brian.
Brian's the man. So I'm like, look, make Sarah's drink. I'll be back. Close me out. And they know your name and they know what you want. That's how great this place is. Brian's like, no problem. I got Sarah's drink. I know what room you're in. It's all good. He's like, how was Flounders last night? I'm like, fucking delicious, overate, sick all night.
So I already told him that.
So I come back. He was testing me then. He's like, you go to Flounders last night? I'm like, I did. I ordered the whole fucking menu. I was sick all night.
Okay, he was testing you because when I went there earlier without you, he's like, hey, what'd y'all end up eating for dinner last night? I said, Flounders. He said, he's like, I love Flounders. I said, yeah, well, we ordered the whole menu.
Yep.
We tried a little bit of everything. I said, we couldn't sleep. We were so uncomfortable. So he already knew this. So yeah, he was testing you.
I know who's on the reservation. It's Sara. Are you really Sarah's husband?
Well, also,
or are you just some motherfucker who overheard her room number and last name trying to get some free drinks?
Also, Brian is a pretty like trim and fit man. You know what I mean? So he's like, I should have warned you about those portions. He's like, you didn't eat all the portions, did you? He's like, I know you're on vacation, but I mean, you got to go back to your real life. You don't want to go back.
Brian, what
10
you don't
pounds
know
heavier.
is that the top button of my shorts is undone right now. I'm covering up with my t-shirt, which also doesn't fit because I went to fucking Flounders last night. Full disclosure, Flounders was awesome environment. I will not be back. I had a rough night.
It's Friday. What they do
I
is
had the firecracker shrimp. They were the biggest shrimp I've ever seen in my life. I tried to eat all of them. Actually, the crazy part is I actually left food behind and still was sick. I left my chowder behind. I left some firecracker shrimp behind.
Okay, no,
Still sick as
that
hell.
is not something to be proud of. There were 2 of us sitting at that table, and we ordered 5 things. So don't you think we should have left like a fucking shitload behind?
Well, this is the you're helping me segue. So I'm in this part of the story.
Okay, wait.
I'm having a fucking Americano with 2 shots of fucking Bailey's.
Okay, but go back.
You might be an alcoholic if. And now we're going to get back to Flounders because I have something to really reveal to you.
Because Lila was like this. Lila was like, the Bailey's is in the cooler. That's where you left off. So what happened then?
So I said, give me 2 shots. I got a vente. You know, it seems like a 2-shot worthy
Yeah.
drink. So she rolls back, 2 cups, go to the room.
Oh, there's not a point to the whole the Bailey's is in the cooler. She just tells you that?
It's kind of like, hey, cowboy, it's round back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't get that.
I said, listen, hon, I'm not interested. I just need the fucking Bailey's. You might be an alcoholic if you don't care about these women at the bar. You just want the fucking drinks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so confused right now. So Lila she's like a Bailey's slut? Like
No, she's just a bartendress.
she's a bar.
That goes, it's all the same.
But
They're synonymous.
But she was suggestive to you when she was like, the Bailey's is in the cooler.
No, I think it was the alcohol talking and the hot tub. Because what I did was I ate all the food at
Wait.
Flounders, went in the hot tub, drank Pensacola Sunsets,
Okay.
delivered right to the bar. Then I went right to another bar.
So
to drink
wasn't
more. I'm wasted.
it wasn't the alcohol.
This
It
is the
wasn't
male
It
fantasy.
wasn't the alcohol and the hot tub talking.
These
It was
women are
the-
just doing their
'cause they weren't-
jobs. And I'm like, every woman in Pensacola wants to fuck me.
No, because Lila, she hadn't had alcohol and she wasn't in the hot tub. So it wasn't.
It was
wasn't-
me.
Yeah, it was the listening.
It's
Th-
my, yes.
This was the alcohol in the hot tub
yes,
listening.
I'm saying that I'm frameworking it that I am just like, yeah, how you
But-
doing?
Yeah, but it isn't you talking. It was how you were listening. You were interpreting that these very, very, very young women, younger than our daughter even, work in the bar, work in Starbucks, just trying to make their way in Pensacola,
make a
Florida,
living.
are trying to fuck you.
No, but I tipped well. So anyways, here's
so
the thing.
you start like this. You might be an alcoholic if, and
You're
I'm,
so drunk you think all these women want to have sex
and
with
I'm like this. You might be a fucking old ass pervert with fucking hanging balls. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, have you seen how far your balls hang down?
you. Yeah, I was like, listen, sir, I work in Pensacola. I see balls hanging out from the shorts.
Oh, you're
daily basis.
actually okay. Comparatively,
Yeah.
October in Pensacola.
I'm the hottest guy in Pensacola right now.
Yeah, you are
So when I'm walking around downtown, I'm like, listen, girls, you just back off. I just want to get these drinks. And you're making fun of me. You're like, you're so crazy. I'm like, actually, look around here.
Okay, so in retired Florida, hung takes on a different definition.
For sure.
Like,
it's not your dick that's
it's
hung.
not your dick, it's your balls
that
that are hung. So you are the least hung man in Pensacola, and that is not an insult. That's actually that makes you the most attractive.
It's good to be a little king. All right, so listen.
Your balls are still high and tight.
Yes, exactly.
Comparatively.
Yeah. I can't button my top button. My balls aren't hanging out
But
the
your
bottom
balls
of
aren't
my
hanging
shorts.
out the bottom of your shorts. Down there by your knees.
Right,
Just knocking your knees.
Why old men decide in their old age to wear the shortest shorts and have the longest
With
hanging
the
balls?
lowest
I'm like,
hanging balls.
Listen, gentlemen, get some skater shorts. You know what I'm saying? You might want to move on to the knee length short as your balls are banging between your knees like a couple of knockers. You know what I'm saying? Knee knockers.
Oh,
They're
old
not
man
just
balls.
for tits. Okay. So listen, this is a reveal episode.
Okay.
I have something to reveal to you.
Oh,
And
shit.
It goes, I know, I'm going to blow your mind right now. It goes back to Flounders. So we're at Flounders. We're getting white girl wasted
Yeah.
and eating food, like just assholes.
Yeah.
I decide I'm going to get the, signature drink and the souvenir glass, which says Flounders on it.
Yeah,
Chowder
you got
House.
it all.
Even though the chowder was shitty. I get it for us. Now, in that glass came some accoutrements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got like a piece of
pineapple.
pineapple. I have a marlin with a cherry through like the stinger, or whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
The swordfish thing, right? It's hanging on top.
Wait, is it a swordfish or a marlin?
Either way, it's got a pointy nose and they put a cherry on it.
Okay.
I decide I'm taking this home. We're taking this back to California, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm walking by the bathroom waiting for you, the cherry pops off and the marlin sinks into the glass.
Oh,
it's a
shit.
blue marlin and I have a blue glass.
Okay.
Choking hazard. It's very scary. Now, I, in my life, have had these very embarrassing moments with you where I go to a hotel with you and I plug the toilet immediately. There's no
Oh.
dignity in this. I then have to call for a plunger. And you think there's someone's going to take care of it. And a bed and breakfast in Napa one time, I'm like, you have a plunger? And they just reached behind and they gave me a
They
bag.
just handed it to you.
I'm like, I don't want to plunge toilets. I'm on vacation, motherfucker. I want staff to come in NASA spacesuits and don't look me in the eye and just unplug my toilet and leave. No talking.
So that's the difference between you and me. I would prefer they just give me the plunger and let me just take care of my own fucking dirty deed. Because in Chateau Marmont, I was like, can I have a plunger to just take care of my own dirty deed? And instead,
You got a lecture.
I got a lecture.
Actually, ma'am, this is how you flush a toilet.
I got a man who actually came into the room and plunged the toilet and then told me that this was not an old-timey plumbing problem. This was an old-timey plumbing problem in my body. Like,
So Chateau Marmont is the first time you, in
Plug
our
the
marriage,
toilet.
plug a toilet.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible for you because I'm like, so much shame. So much shame.
so
I've been there so many
embarrassing.
times.
Yeah.
And then you always kind of like exacerbate the situation by making me feel like shit. You're like, you plug that toilet. I can't take a shit. You get down there. I'm like, fucking pressure. I'm just trying to be on vacation. So you plug the first toilet at Chateau Marmont your first
Yes.
time. And I kind of let you have a little bit. I'm like, oh, look at plug the fucking toilet, bitch.
Oh, no, you left.
Because you've
You
done it to
left.
me so many times. I'm
You-
like, I don't have nothing to do with this.
You're like, I'll be at the bar.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lecture
talking to Gina at the bar.
from an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you might be an alcoholic if you know the bartender's names from all the fucking bars you've been to. So Gina
Okay.
was taking good care of me. So
So anyway,
we come to Pensacola, Florida, and then you
it
have your
might-
second turn of plugging up a toilet.
it might be a marlin. It might be
We'll get to that later.
a swordfish.
You plug a toilet early on.
No, it was fucking plugged when we moved in here.
Okay, fair enough. So it wasn't your fault, but you got blamed for it because you were the one who went first.
Yes.
So you plug a toilet, staff comes in, they unplug a toilet. I don't know if you noticed, they leave toilet water all the way down the bathroom, all the way out the door. Just like I'm walking around, I'm like, oh, my feet are wet. Oh, that's toilet water.
Okay, but
in the plunger.
that wasn't me. We had barely come in. I hadn't even taken my sunglasses off from like the outside. We had just gotten here. It was a long trip. I go in. I'm like the first person to flush the toilet. It was
Bam.
already plugged from the last
Right.
guest.
So unfortunate series of events and timing for you.
Yeah.
Not your fault.
No.
But now you have had 2 toilet plugging hotel experiences in a row.
Yes.
And I'm like, like whatever. So
I have a sneaking suspicion where this is going.
this morning,
I am not happy.
this morning, you're plugging the toilet, right? And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I can't believe, I'm like, the water's going down, but like the toilet paper and the turds aren't. I'm like, I wonder what could be stopping all that from going through the tubes.
Because I said to you, I go, because you were still sleeping. Okay,
This is the real veal episode for a reason, because I'm going to reveal something to you. You're not going to be very happy
we
about.
all know what you're about to reveal, and none of us are happy with you. So I woke up. Okay, so we went to bed because Flounders, we ordered 5 things for 2 people. And everything at Flounders is fried. They're like, would you like a chicken breast sandwich? Yes,
Would you like a Coke?
They're like, we're going to fry
fried
it.
Coke.
Exactly. It's a fried Coke. Everything was fried. So we finished Flounders and we both walked out of there. We're like, I've never been so full in my life. And I kept saying to you last night, I'm like, dude, it's like I'm getting more full as the night wears on. We came home at 7, we came back to the hotel room at 7 to watch Monday Night Football, which was a great game, by the way.
Great game.
But because we were here for kickoff, I knew exactly what time it was. So there was like one point where the Monday Night Football game was over, and I was like, dude, we ate 4 hours ago, and I am still so fucking
I've even had a drip of water, and I'm getting more and more full.
So we were so full. We woke up in the middle of the night. We couldn't sleep. We were like
miserable.
Yeah, miserable. So this morning, I'm like, okay,
I'm going to get some out.
10 hours later, I'm going to get this fucking Flanders out of my...
You're like, thank God I can take a shit.
Yes. So never have I been so happy to evacuate my bowels.
So here's the reveal part. So I come home last night.
And then I plugged the toilet.
Well, did you?
And that's what I told you.
I come home last night.
Said, I don't understand why the toilet is not flushing. Like all of my shit.
I don't know.
All of my toilet paper is still in there. Nothing went down. I don't know what plugged it.
So weird. Could be anything. So I come home last night, and I'm so full. I'm walking home with my souvenir glass, full, 3/4 full of blue slushy alcohol. Yeah. And hidden in that, unbeknownst to me, is a blue Marlin. So I get back, and you say to me, like, just pour that out. I say, no, I don't want to pour this out just like walking down the street in Pensacola because there's like fruit in it, there's plastic in it. I don't want to be a litterer. I'm going to take it back to the room. I'm trying to be a good ethical person.
No, and I actually said to you, then just pour it out in this freaking planner. I said this, and I was like, and then we'll grab the fruit. We'll grab the plastic. We'll put it back in the cup. We'll take it to the nearest trash can.
I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
So I come into the room. I'm stumbling in, drunk and fucking full, and I pour my souvenir glass of blue slushy into the toilet.
I hate you.
Right. And so when it happens, a blue Marlin goes into the toilet, and I flush the toilet, and the blue Marlin goes about halfway down, leaves this little tail. I can see its little blue tail. Thought to myself, I'm like, I could reach down there and just get that. I'm like, let me flush it again and see if it goes away.
You're the worst.
So I flush it again, disappears. I'm like, we're good. We're good.
You're the worst.
So then this morning,
you didn't even tell me.
You take a shit, and your turds and your toilet paper won't go down because the little plastic Marlin is just like holding all in place. So then you went and got a plunge. I'm like, hey, baby, you want me to plunge that for you? You're like, no, I got it. I'm like, no, I want to plunge it because a blue Marlin's about to pop out of the toilet, and you're going to fucking kill me.
No, you know why I'm so pissed about this though? Is all of that.
Because I knew all along.
All
and I
of
didn't
that.
tell you
Yeah,
shit.
no, okay.
I just laid on the couch. I'm like, oh man, you plugged the toilet again? What's wrong with you with your big asshole?
Okay, so all of that. But I'm also really mad is because we're going home. We're going home with a shark from the shark attack in New Orleans. We're going with a gator from my gator drink in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like I'm going home with all of these little plastic action fingers that like floated in drinks that we drank. Why don't I have a blue Marlin or a swordfish or whatever the fuck
If you want to go elbow deep into that pipe, I guarantee you I can get you that Marlin.
But I could have gotten it last night, dude. The water was clean. The little tail was sticking out. You could have said, oh, honey, there's a little action figure fish inside this drink that I missed. It's halfway lodged in the toilet. And I mean,
honey, I was so full. I'm just like, the last thing I want to do is shove my hand in a fucking hotel bathroom that's already been plugged up by the people that were previously here. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but I'm not squeamish about that shit. So I would have been like, okay, let's get that fucking fish. Let's clean it off. Antibacterial soap. They made it for a reason.
Oh, God, I do not want a fucking plastic thing in our tiki bar at home with the shitter in Pensacola.
Okay, I don't want it from the shitter, but I want it.
Well, then I'll go back to
you
Flounders
are now.
Today, and I'll get another goddamn drink. I'll be sick as
Dude, Flounders almost killed us yesterday, and now you're going back there by yourself, and you're gonna get.
Actually, my plan is to pub crawl all of Pensacola. I got some tips from Brian today.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna find a blue Marlin somewhere else. It's gonna happen. Flounders can't be the only place that has a blue plastic Marlin they shove in a fucking.
Right now, I'm taking home a gator from New Orleans and a shark from New Orleans. I feel like I need like a marlin or a swordfish. We're not sure what it is.
Right.
Just to round out my collection of plastic fish reptiles
Yes.
that are going to live on.
So you talked about New Orleans. So we came to Pensacola via New Orleans. We were there with Dave and Imelda Singer, good friends. You know Dave's voice. He is the intro and the segue man on Stories and Cocktails.
Yeah.
So it's cool that we get to talk about Dave. And so we went to New Orleans with them. We had a absolutely fantastic, wonderful time. Highly recommend the French Quarter. We did all the cheesy walking tours. Loved it. We got super, super drunk. I got some text messages yesterday from Imelda, and they were photographs of me I didn't recognize at all. I had my shirt off. I was just pointing at the sky. I was running around bars like a fucking psychopath.
You were.
So I have no recollection of, like, no context. I even texted her. I'm like, here's what I recognize. I recognize that that's me.
Yeah.
I recognize that it's New Orleans. It's probably Bourbon Street. Other than those two things, I cannot piece together any faction of what is happening in that fucking photograph, what I'm trying to accomplish in that photograph.
I have
nothing.
no context either, except that I remember Imelda was as drunk as you. Now I don't know. I don't think she was actually lifting her shirt, but you and Imelda were just on different dance floors, and you guys were smoking cigars. You guys were on a whole other level, and I said to myself, because I was like on that level too, kind of. But then I was like, when the cigars came out, I was like, oh shit. I'm with super fucking fucked up drunk people.
Kubo's. Delicious.
I gotta get us all back to our hotels. And so then, again, I don't really remember the pictures. I don't remember the context. I just know there was a moment where it was like, it's Sara, it's on you and you alone can get these 4 drunks.
You are our only hope.
Back into their
Help me,
hotel.
Obi-Wan.
Exactly.
You are our only hope to get back to the hotel.
And we're going through Bourbon Street and just a random night in October. And they happened to have their Halloween parade. So
the parade was dope.
You know, everything you know about New Orleans, and they do a Halloween parade. What are your expectations? This parade, like, met and exceeded the expectations.
Yeah, we loved New Orleans.
Yeah. So we're down there.
You might be an alcoholic if you love New Orleans.
Exactly. So we're down there on a Saturday night after the Halloween parade, and it's just wall-to-wall people. It's revelry. There's beads. It's craziness.
We both got
Everyone's
beads.
in costume. And one of us asked the bouncer, like, hey, how does this compare to Mardi Gras?
This is 20%.
Yeah. He, like, rolled his eyes and laughed, and he was like, are you kidding me? Like, this doesn't compare to Mardi Gras. This is like 20%. So,
This is a Tuesday in the summer.
So I'm drunk as fuck, but I can still do fucking math. So I'm like, 20% means for every one person, there's 5 more people, right? And I start looking
That's
around.
a good fraction right there.
And I'm like, holy shit. What he said was this was barely a fraction of the people who show up for Mardi Gras. And
He also said, you're an idiot.
Yeah. The fraction was so small. He was basically like, lady, sir, you guys can't even fucking comprehend how crowded it gets down here for Mardi Gras. It's not for you. And I was like, you're right. It is not for me. You know what's for me? Halloween. Halloween parade.
Halloween parade is our move.
Not Mardi Gras. We
All right,
never got to the
we
fucking
got to talk
story.
about a story. So the story is called Wax On, Wax Off, published June 25th, 2008 in the Santa Maria Sun. A story about the first time I went out and got waxed based on your recommendation. And I think I can summarize the whole story with this small sentence.
Ouch.
I am a total wuss.
Oh, okay. Or just ouch, period.
I'm just not tough.
No, you're not.
I couldn't do it. I was crying in there like a little bitch.
Yeah, you were.
I suck. I don't know how you can do it with me.
Hmm.
How do you do this shit? You're like, well, he either has one eyebrow or he cries like a little bitch.
Okay, so I love this part of you where you're like sort of like insightful and you look back at your own flaws. You know what I mean? And you're like, how do you do it with me? How are you with such a pussy who can't get his eyebrows waxed? I'm like, look, it hurts everybody to get their eyebrows waxed. Like the tweezing is fucking miserable. That's why I stopped doing it. After COVID, I was like, we're done. We're not waxing eyebrows anymore. Like that was like a personal choice that I made. You're like, oh, how can you do this? I'm like, dude, the eyebrow thing, it's not a thing in this marriage. But you calling baristas coffee sluts and you calling every fucking woman a bitch that's not me, and you probably call me a bitch behind my back.
No. You're my wife.
That's the thing. It's like,
You're my wife whom I love.
When you say she's a coffee slut, I need you to finish that sentence with, how do you do it with me? But you don't. You just double down. You're like, that's what they're called. That's what they're called.
Common knowledge.
But anyway, tweezing hurts eyebrows. How do you do it with me? I'm like, no, it fucking hurts everybody.
I will let you in on a little secret that you already know the answer to, even though you don't want to admit it. The reason this marriage is so successful.
Is the secret that there's a plastic fucking drink fish in our toilet?
Catching all the toilet paper and turds from going through the pipes. Making you have to go downstairs. Do you have a plunger? I plugged the toilet again.
Okay, wait. I don't know if we got to this part, though, because you said I came back like magically with a plunger or whatever.
You stole it.
I went out. I went down to the lobby because I can't use my own restroom because it's so plugged. So I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm going down to the lobby.
I did feel guilty. You're like, I got to go downstairs to take a shit. I'm like, oh, yeah, damn. It's a bummer when you plug that toilet. Now you got to go downstairs and use the fucking lobby bathroom. Well, I
didn't want to talk about how it was like Flounders was so bad. We ate so much food. It was like a 2-shitter morning. So yes, I did the immediate one when I woke up, and then I had some coffee, and then I had the second one. So I was like, I'm going to go downstairs for that. And you were just like, yeah.
I just played coy. I'm like, oh man. Nah, shit. Well, that's what happens when you plug a toilet. I guess you're going downstairs.
You were.
11 floors to take a shit.
You were like, it sucks to be such a fucking fat.
Your asshole is so big, you can't even just take a shit in a bathroom without plugging the toilet. What's wrong with you?
So I go downstairs.
You deserve that.
I go downstairs to use the lobby bathroom, and it was a whack of shame. And I feel so bad about plugging our toilet that I actually say to you, "Do you want anything? Do you want a coffee?" So I get you a coffee. I come back upstairs, and I see that the housekeeping closet is like not quite shut. Like someone like walked away and they thought it was shut, but it was like open still a crack. So I knew we needed towels. So I was like, oh.
This is the work of a desperate person. Like, is there a plunger in there?
I know.
I'm going to start going through other people. I'm going to opening fucking locked doors and shit.
So I did. I pushed the door open and I got a couple of towels and I grabbed the towels. So now I've got your coffee. I've got towels. My hands are getting full. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Is there a plunger? So then I pushed it open again, and lo and behold, there was a plunger, and I just stole it. I stole it.
Yeah, and I told you, I'm like, just keep that, because we're probably going to need it again.
Yeah, no, you said that.
As I was laughing, I'm like, you can plunge it all you want. There's still a plastic marlin in the pipes with like a little fin and dorsal fins. All these things are keeping the shit from going up the pipes.
And you did. And I think you already said this earlier.
I played it cool. I'm like, just go ahead and keep that.
You were like, do you want me to do it? Do you want me to? I'm like, no, this is my problem. I'll take care of it.
Full disclosure, I did go in there and try to work it a bit. And yeah, that motherfucker, it's not coming out. Welcome to Pensacola, babies. If you get a hotel room at this hotel, the Hilton, 11th floor overlooking the beautiful Gulf, you might plug the toilet every time you take a piss because there's a plastic marlin shoved in the toilet.
So, yeah, if you were to check in here and they say, your room is on the 11th floor, say no.
Is it 1134? Because I listened to a particular episode of Stories and Cocktails that says, I do not want to be in that fucking
I do not want to be in that room. I don't think you want to be on the 11th floor at all.
They're like, actually, don't worry. The whole floor has a plunger. Like, that's the only floor, for whatever reason, we leave a plunger in the room. Ever since the Crudest came and did a podcast here. We're the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
We're like, leave our mark behind.
Yeah, well, you do, whether you're fucking fish. You know what I mean?
It was an accident?
It wasn't an accident. I told you. I said pour it out.
You wanted me to litter. I don't want to litter.
No, I wanted you to just pour out the blue shit, and we would collect all the plastic accoutrements and put them back in the cup and throw them away later.
I didn't. I forgot this shit was in there. And I kind of just let you just rock and roll this morning and just do your thing.
You're
I feel
obviously
terrible about it.
You are not. Okay, one, you don't feel terrible. You're smiling.
It was fucking hilarious.
The podcast can't hear a smile, so I will just say you're smiling. And two, you're not responsible enough for souvenir glasses and souvenir drinks.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah, you don't get that.
That's your job.
You don't get that anymore. You know what? You're drinking ranch waters or you're drinking fucking beer for the rest of the trip.
I'm relegated to ranch water. Okay, all right. Thanks for joining the show, and cheers.
Cheers.
And that was Last Call. You did it. You survived an episode of Stories and Cocktails. But did Rob or Sarah's liver survive the show? I don't know. Tune into the next episode to find out, to enjoy some more stories and some more cocktails. By the way, if you want to support the debauchery of the show, defy the host their next round by Venmoing a couple of gold doubloons at Stories and Cocktails. Back in the day, a gold doubloon was only $4 Spanish. Who knew? Well, folks, I'll be right here behind the bar, cleaning the glassware and awaiting your return to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. Cheerio, friends!
If you enjoy hearing Rob Kreider's different humor columns here on the Stories and Cocktails podcast, then I promise you will love his novel, Cadet Blues. Cadet Blues is Rob's hilarious tell-all about desperately trying to survive the shock and awe boot camp-style training at the California Highway Patrol Academy. People from all different walks of life have come to love this book because Cadet Blues is simply a crazy good read. Heartfelt, inspiring, and damn funny. It's available in paperback through Amazon, eBay, or cadetblues.com, where you can get free shipping and a personalized autographed book. Or you can download a digital copy of Cadet Blues from Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, or Apple iBooks. Do yourself a favor and check out the novel, Cadet Blues.